Hey, paisans, the time has come. On the air since 2009, the independently produced, non-FCC compliant champ of video game talk podcasting. Here comes Tiger Claw Radio. Here's your host, Critical Failure.
Welcome to Tiger Claw Radio, everybody. This is your host, Critical Failure. Cendoo of Light Studios is on the program today, and we've got some great chip tunes. Thank you very much for giving me the weekend to put this together. I've just been trying to be the best dad I can be, and sometimes I got to put that first, you know what I'm saying? But this has been worth the wait. So let's kick things off. There is a compilation which came out actually a few years back, but it's a really big comp that's got a lot of awesome Family-Track cartoons on it, and I think it fits like core TCR music type. It is the Thunder Force 4 Community Cover Project. And you can get this for free off of Bandcamp if you're into Family-Tracker tracks like your old pal CF is. So let's pick something out off of this list, and then we'll see what's going on with old Cendoo. You're listening to Tiger Claw Radio. Thanks for tuning in. Very abrupt stop because it's designed to loop. That's Shy Wolf covering The Breaker from, hang on, let me extend the names out a little bit, Thunder Force 4 Community Cover Project. That's right, it's stage 6 to something. Alright, boys and girls. Cendoo joining us from EmeraldRangers.com. We're going there now. Stick with us. Recording. Okay. So what all did you get in the bundle that you picked up from Craigslist?
Well, my PS3 died, so I got a new one.
Oh yeah.
It said it came with a few games and movies, but they literally gave me a garbage bag full of them. There was close to 40 games, about 8 Weird Al albums, a bunch of movies I'll never watch, 12 Lego games, all 3 Uncharted games.
The Uncharted games on PS3 are good, man.
It's Naughty Dog, man.
I know they're like a little cliche at this point, but those are good games, bro.
Oh, also got this, what is this? A archive photo CD from Walmart. It's got a couple pictures of a newborn baby on it.
Oh.
I really hope they didn't I'm pretty sure they just threw that in by accident.
Yeah. That might be worth, like, saying, hey, I got baby pictures. You have them too? Do you need these? Do you need this back?
Well, the thing is, the couple on the CD don't look like the people that sold this thing to me.
Oh. Yeah. You never know. I don't know what to tell you then. But that's cool. What have you sunk your teeth into it? Like, what in that bag has stood out to you? What have you tried yet?
Well, besides all the Weird Al albums, I haven't tried any yet, but I've heard of some of these games. Like I said, 12 Lego games, like Harry Potter, Indiana Jones, Batman, Star Wars, I think. Hang on a sec.
Is Lego Worlds among them? Because that is an awesome game.
No. Batman, Indiana Jones 2, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, all Lego, by the way, Pirates of the Caribbean, Marvel Superhero Lego. Boy, that franchise took off. Where was I?
That was, yeah, there was a period where that was, like, super hot, man. It's been a while, though. That's probably, like, 2012, 2013, around that time.
Well, it is the PlayStation 3, and the PlayStation 5 comes out, like, what, in 2 months?
Yeah, I don't know. Getting hard for me to keep track of these things.
Yeah. Shoot, just in time, and you just got the Xbox One.
Yeah. And
how is that thing, by the way?
I really dig it. It fits nicely in my setup, which is the primary concern with consoles for me at the moment is it's difficult to find space for them. But since I've been cleaning it up, it was like perfect timing. It's got a nice spot right next to the Dreamcast. And I can actually play it at my computer desk because, I'm more of a computer guy. So I can have my Steam set up here or whatever. And then on my right monitor, which is actually a small television set, I can play Xbox One. Which is pretty dope.
Well, I'm slow. I've been slowly pushing the console way on you.
Yes, you
Remember
have.
the Master System.
I still have the Master. That Master System was a huge like milestone in game collecting for me, man. That changed a lot of things.
Yeah. Did you ever play the card game? If you check the manual in it, I wrote my high score in there.
I did, yes. The haunted. Which one was it? There's a Ghost House and Ghostbusters. Ghost House was the card game, I believe, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Ghost House.
It seemed weird. Like that one didn't click with me, but I played it because I wanted to try everything.
That was a game I literally just got because I wanted to see the card reader go.
Okay. I could see that because when I was flipping, it was like, oh, thank goodness I have at least one card game because I didn't see a lot of them for sale for reasonable prices on eBay.
Amazingly, some of the add-ons plugged into the card reader, like I think the 3D glasses did.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah.
Did you ever play with the Zapper?
Did I ever what?
The Master System has like a light gun to it. You ever play with that?
Not yet. I haven't been able to get one. I do have a power-based converter now.
Oh yeah.
It's just stacks. It fits on the Model 1 Genesis. It does have a card reader on it, unlike the second model of the Master System.
I remember the power-based converter quite a bit, actually, from our early discussions. That was how I found out about that thing. So what do you actually play on it?
I've only got 2 Master System games right now. I have Rocky, which is a game I forgot it to send you. I was gonna, but I couldn't find it to the point where I questioned if I already actually had it or not. I picked up this other one. It's actually one of those old RPGs, like a first-person RPG.
Really?
Seems like a game you might be interested in.
I like those.
Yeah, it's supposed to come with this big map, but I don't have it.
Yeah, but
I found it.
A lot of that stuff you can get offline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or just see a picture of said map.
Yep.
Oh, also recently I sent you a picture on Twitter. I got a big Atari 2600 stack someone gave me at work.
Really? Let me pop Twitter open so I can see that.
You replied to it.
Oh, that was a while ago. I do remember. Yeah, what?
It was actually a Telegames model. That stupid thing actually works.
That is awesome.
It was sitting in his grandpa's. Yeah, the thing was sitting in his grandpa's basement for I don't know how long, years probably.
Yeah, Atari is a weird system. It's looking at the Atari from the outside, it looks like there's nothing there worth your time. But I found when I dug into it, there was a lot of room for imagination, a lot of fun to be had.
It did come with the Kool-Aid Man game.
How is the Kool-Aid Man game, by the way?
Not good.
I don't know why I find that so amusing, but I do.
I heard to get that game back in the day, you had to send in like a whole lot of Kool-Aid tags.
I remember the Kool-Aid tags. I don't remember ever actually successfully sending in for anything. But I remember the points.
That was a contest before I was born, I'm sure, so...
Well, the points lived long after the Atari. Like, I remember... I'm shooting in the dark, but that Masters... Hold on a second. Give me a second. Let me catch up with my thoughts for a bit. Okay, the Kool-Aid game promotion probably was in, like, the late 80s when I was alive but too young to remember. But into the 90s, the Kool-Aid packets were still sold with points, right? So even long after the Atari, the points that you would collect and get things from the catalog, that system still did exist for a long time. But
yeah, I'm sure they had some T-shirts to give away or something.
Yeah, I remember doing it with not Kool-Aid, but I remember like snack bags, getting a hold of a yak back using the points. Do you remember what the yak back was?
No.
It was just a little. It was a little toy that had a speak and a say button on it, and that was it. And you could talk into it, and it would spit it back out at you.
Oh, my dad found a toy like that at a thrift shop once. It was a toy parrot.
There you go. There you go. It was before people could do that with their phones, you know.
You know, I searched Yak Back toy and a Furby showed up.
Yeah, weirdly enough, the last time I looked for a Yak Back, I couldn't find any. It's spelled weird. YAK-BAK. Yeah, okay, there's a couple of Yak Backs. Vintage Yak Back 2 Power Pen for like $11. Yeah, there's a couple here.
Here's one on eBay, 6 for $250. Still in the box.
Yeah, weird.
Packaging, whatever.
Yak Back Classic 1997 needs new batteries, $40. Yeah, they're expensive. What the heck?
Collectible toys, mate.
Say
Only
and
people
play.
who buy them.
I gotta say though, and this is coming from somebody who's been cleaning house hard as of lately, I wouldn't mind owning a Yak Back again.
Hey, we've all got a nostalgic toy. As a kid, I used to have this transforming Hulk turned into a T-Rex. Wouldn't mind finding that again.
Yeah.
You know, back to the Xbox One, one thing I find funny is, I remember when the PSP Go came out, everyone was like baffled, how could a digital-only system exist? But now there is a digital-only Xbox One. They make discless models that are like $100 cheaper.
Wow. I
you-
didn't know that, but that is. I saw it coming for a long time. I'm honestly surprised it took this long for it to get here.
We're in the transition phase. I imagine the PlayStation 6 and the Xbox Omega Rosie will be discless.
What? Why is it taking so long for a decent competitor to show up? It's I mean, it's for the last, like, how many generations has it just been Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony? That's my question.
3.
3 generations. That's a long
No.
time, bro.
Actually, not even really. PS2 era was Dreamcast. There was the Ouya, and which one was that?
Do you really
PS3
count
or
Ouya?
4 era?
I can't. The Ouya was PS3 era, but it wasn't. I don't know. I wouldn't count the Ouya as a direct competitor because the idea was they were trying to sell it to people who already owned those machines.
Well, if you count those, you got some plug-and-plays out there.
I don't know. I want to see another system show up and get major third-party support. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bring Sega back.
Yeah. I would like to see that for sure.
So what'd you end up doing with that Xbox subscription? Did you use it? Xbox Live, I mean.
No, I still have it. It's a card.
I am amazed it's still valid.
It's in my desk. Xbox Live. As a matter of fact, when I look these up, the cover hasn't changed that much. Let me see. I'm looking on the back to see if there's some sort of expiration date.
No, I didn't know there was actually one last Xbox 360 model that looks like that Xbox One I sent you.
Oh, really?
It came out after the Slim, the one people called the Slim.
Yeah. My only problem. Well, I had a number of problems with the Xbox 360 era, but
Red Ring.
the red ring was a big one. But they managed to fix that like 3/4 of the way through the run, which is not saying much. But
No, they didn't fix it. They reduced it.
oh, really?
The Slim one, everyone they said didn't red ring. We had one that red dotted. They just got rid of the red LED lights in the ring, but not the dot. It could still die the same way.
That is awful.
It just went down from 30% to occasionally happening. They reduced it greatly, though.
I want to see how much an Xbox 360 system is going for on eBay these days.
We found one at the thrift shop for $20 the other day.
I've seen them at the thrift shop pretty frequently too. As a matter of fact, it's just that because the failure rate was so high with those machines, I feel weird about getting one from a thrift store.
It was amazing, actually. That was like the original model from 2007, and it still worked. It used
Really?
to belong to It used to belong to an army vet. We know that because they didn't wipe the system before donating it.
Pretty sweet.
You know what's not sweet is that original Xbox 360 was not Wi-Fi compatible without an adapter.
Oh dear. Do you have said adapter?
I didn't keep the system. My friend did. I've got a Slim 360. It is Wi-Fi.
Speaking of
yeah,
which,
good luck trying to get a Wi-Fi adapter. I dare you.
My Xbox One is up and running now. Rocket League is updating, and I'm gonna play some Jet Set Radio when we're done here.
Yeah, you know, you can get Roblox on that for free if you have Xbox Live.
I have seen that. You don't need Xbox Live. You just go and you log into the store and it's free.
I don't know. Didn't work for me.
Really? It let me get Rocket League. I don't know what I'm going to do with it without Xbox Live, but...
Hey, it was fun, actually. I did play Roblox on the 1, because it cross-saved with the Windows 10 version.
Oh, really? That's kind of neat.
Same save file, yeah.
I really just want to play... I want to play Dead by Daylight with Death Adder. That's really all I want to do.
I got that Xbox One from a friend from work who, as you could tell, used to play it heavily, but has since become a pure PC gamer.
Yeah.
So he let it go. Let it go pretty cheap. Just needed a new HDMI cable and a controller. Sadly, it cost more to ship it than to buy it.
Really? Do you need any money? I mean, I can give you a few bucks.
Talk about that off the air.
All right. Yeah, the controller is dope. I know it's like... Is this a third party?
It's a third party, yeah. It's an Afterglow controller, they call it.
Okay.
That was just out of my collection. Sadly, they didn't make first-party wired controller, and the official one is AA batteried. You gotta get a rechargeable pack separate.
No thanks. I'll take the Afterglow. Thank you much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing works... I have my tower hooked up to the same desk, like my PC, and the Xbox controllers are notoriously well-suited for PC gaming.
You think that's because Windows is owned by Microsoft?
Well, I mean, yeah, sure. They that's by design and not in a good way, but it's been nice to have a controller that I can just yank out of the Xbox, stick it in the PC, and now my son and I can play local multiplayer just a wee bit easier on the computer. It's been good.
Yeah. I remember back in like the mid 2000s when PC controllers were so annoying.
Yeah, they've
The early 2000s.
They've gotten a lot better.
I've got some third-party ones that look hideous.
Really? I'd be interested to see them.
If I dig them up, maybe. Though I did have this one that was a Logitech that was basically a ripoff of the PS2 controller, but it worked pretty dang well.
That's actually I know the one you're talking about. They made a few different models of those. Did the buttons have numbers on them instead of colors, or did you get the colored model?
Numbers.
Numbers. That was the same one I had, and
Go ahead.
I used it until it broke. I used it for like 5 or 6 years, and it finally broke. And then I found another one just like it, except the buttons had colors instead of numbers at the thrift store, and I still have that.
I remember back in like 2008, I actually got an adapter for the original Xbox controller to work on the PC.
How'd it work?
It works. Just nowadays it ain't supported too well. It was literally just a USB converter, so it computer recognized it as a generic USB controller.
That's not too bad, depending on what you play, though, right?
Yeah. Getting Rumble to work's annoying, though.
But there's actual original Xbox emulation. So, in theory, you could play an Xbox emulator with an authentic Xbox controller and have a good experience, depending on the game.
Xbox 360 is backwards compatible, Dave. The Xbox One is now. They updated it, sorta.
How backwards compatible is it? Because I have some stuff.
They actually re-released a lot of 360 games in new Xbox One cases that say 360 and Xbox One on the top. I know, like, Fallout 3 works on it. That's a 360 game, and Modern Warfare 2 works on it, which is a 360 version. It's not a lot. It's not all of them. It's like a handful. Pretty much whatever game's available digitally.
We're going to try it right now. I'm putting a random 360 game in the slot. We're going to see what it does. If it explodes, I'm sorry.
It won't explode. It'll just say, this game is not supported on the list, or it will work.
Or explode. You never know. Could happen.
Yeah, when I got that one, it had Modern Warfare 2, the 360 version in it. I could have sent that, but I figured you had it already.
Sorry, this game isn't playable here. For a list of Xbox and Xbox 360 games that are playable, go to this website. Okay, that's not so bad. At least it has the decency to say, we recognize this is a game and we're not going to let you play it. Unlike the PlayStation 3, which when I tried to put a PS2 game in, it was like, we don't know what kind of game this is.
That's not entirely true, because the fat PS3s that aren't PS2 compatible did give me a message that said this model is not compatible with PS2 games.
I didn't get that.
Actually, that my PS3 that broke was a backwards compatible model that played PS2 games.
Yeah, I want to try my me, by the way? I'm pretty far from the mic right now.
I can faintly hear you.
All right, here we go. I just have I didn't hold on to much for the 360. So all of the games I do have are old favorites, particularly the Dead or Alive series. So let's try Dead or Alive 4. Because this would be amazing if this ran.
DOA.
Let's try it. Nope, Dead or Alive 4 is a no dice situation.
Let's see. Far Cry Instincts, Unreal Tournament 3, Enchanted Arms. I'm on the website. Oh, Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie. That's a 360 game that works on it.
Why? That has to be something to do with the engine and not something they ported directly.
It's not ports. It's it kind of emulates, and it also, I think it's any game they sell digitally too on it.
Well, Dead or Alive 5 is giving me the middle finger.
And what the heck?
We got a no on Sims 3, we got a no on Dead or Alive 4, and Dead or Alive 5. Ugh.
I wonder if that model actually does it.
Does it play any of the original Xbox games?
A few. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell says it should work, if you have that.
I did. I actually got rid of it not too long ago.
Unreal Champion 2, Sphinx of the Cursed Mummy, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb.
This is an easy one. Let's try Gears of War.
Oh dear. How about the Fable 2 and 3 work?
I have Fable 3. Fable
Try
3
that one.
has actually been up for sale for a while. I can't get anybody to buy it. I think it's on sale on my eBay thing for $1 at this point.
Eh.
Hang on a second. Bear with
Duke
me.
Nukem.
Go ahead.
Duke Nukem Forever. Heck yeah, that's on the list of compatible.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to play the console version of that for some reason.
Gears of War works. That's actually really awesome.
And so does Sonic Unleashed. Thank goodness. Hey, wasn't that what we were supposed to talk about this episode?
I don't know anything about Sonic Unleashed. I do know a lot of the Sonic games are on sale on Steam right now because of the anniversary.
No, I meant Sonic in general.
Sonic Mania, it's $5. I considered picking it up. Any good?
Might as well. Yeah. It definitely did the physics a lot better than Generations. Oh, heck yeah. It's got a new move, the drop dash. While jumping, if you hold the jump button down, he'll immediately spin dash when he hits the ground. Mm-hmm. They call that the drop dash. That's the new move for Mania, and it's been a big fan hit. And with the update DLC, they brought back the obscure characters, like Mighty and whatever that squirrel's name was.
Gears of War 2 works, by the way. This is awesome. I'm really digging this. I really wanted to play Sonic Colors. Did that ever come out for anything apart from the Wii?
Yes, actually.
Bear with me, I'm looking it up to see where I can get myself a copy. I remember that one being a big deal, because when that came out,
actually,
they were like, if we don't get it right this time, we're not going to make them anymore.
Actually, no. But Sonic Lost Worlds, that was on Wii U exclusively, came out on Steam.
Oh, that's cool.
That's weird. The Wii, now that was a Wii exclusive, the colors. It was basically Unleashed, but only the day stages, and the first game with the new voice cast, and they did a pretty dang good job.
It's not terribly expensive, for an old Wii game.
No.
I could see picking that up.
Most Wii games aren't. Yeah, Colors was a good one.
Yeah, but when it comes to Wii, it's like the games you think would be cheap and plentiful are super expensive, and then the reverse is true as well. Try getting a Mario Party game on the Wii. It ain't cheap.
Yeah, but why would you want one of those?
I don't know, because they were fun, right? They were fun and plentiful.
Wasn't that the one where you all shared a car and moved together?
That was Double Dash. And that was on the GameCube, I think. I think that's what you're talking about.
Not Kart, Party.
The The only Mario Party I played extensively was like Mario Party 6 or something. It was one of the GameCube era games. I never really got to play the Wii ones.
Yeah. The Wii ones were 8 and 9, and they were notorious because all the players were in a car and they moved on the board together. So you didn't go your own ways like the old games.
Oh, wow, you're right. Did people hate that?
Oh, people hated that, yeah. And then they hated that in 8, and then they brought it back in 9. Anyway.
Ugh. Why?
And then Mario Party the Top 100 on the 3DS just upset everyone.
Weird times.
But apparently they redeemed themselves on the Switch with Super Mario Party.
That's cool. I would like the price of the Switch to go down just a wee bit. It's still...
Oh, right now?
I know it's not happening, but we watch a lot of Let's Plays of, what is it now? Not Mario Party. Super Mario Maker 2. I was just watching them earlier this evening with my son. It looks like a fun game. Looks like a game that I legit in my own time would be interested in playing. I like side scrollers. I like the old Mario. I'm not as enthusiastic as my kids because it's, you know, it's like right in their target demo and they're hooked. But I would enjoy it. It's just that I got to pay like. So what is a solid Switch? It's like $350, right? And then a $60 game, and then whatever the subscription service is. I don't know, man.
Oh, here's one on eBay. It's still got the box and comes with 2 games: Pokemon Sword and Paper Mario for $220, free shipping.
Okay,
that's gonna sell in the next day.
Yeah, but you found one, even if it's the only one of its kind. Yeah, look, I see.
And also,
it's from the Netherlands, though, dude. Is that Netherlands?
Oh gosh, it is. It is. Holy cow! It is from the Netherlands. You're right. Any chance the Switch is region free?
I was just gonna say, isn't Netherlands like a PAL territory? So it's not. You know,
I don't know.
I'm looking at the auctions. It looks like you could obtain a Switch for like $250 if you don't mind going used.
Yeah.
My drum machine was more than that.
Oh, wow, they're cheap from the Netherlands. This one comes with 4 games. Is there a big Nintendo thing in the Netherlands right now and we don't know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You ever try
conspiracy theory?
I know that was a big internet fad like 2 years ago or more, but I still kind of want to try that.
Try what?
Licking one of the Switch games.
Oh, that.
Because they're like supposed to be super bitter. All right.
Yeah, supposedly Nintendo made the cards taste bad on purpose to stop pets and little kids from eating them.
I have 3 little kids, and let me just say, I think it's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, but I like to think at least one of them wouldn't put it in their mouth.
Kids do that. Besides, the only alternative is not making tiny little cartridges, and I don't want them to do that. I like the little cartridges.
Of course, that would require Nintendo to give it an actual hard drive size.
Yeah, I don't know. Storage space is a tricky thing. You'd think it would be super simple. Like, for all the jank smack I talk about Microsoft and their game practices, and they've had some bad ones over the years, you've always been able to go get yourself an external hard drive or a nice hardy USB memory storage device and smack that into your system and make it work.
Sony's been terrible with that. The PSP and Vita don't use traditional micro USB cards. They use their special Sony memory sticks, which are more expensive and a smaller size.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Holding on a second.
There we go. People are bidding like... this is making me worried, dude. So I have... Alright, let's turn back the clock a couple years. This is when you told me about AliExpress, and I had to let it sit for a while. I didn't get hooked right away, but like a year plus later, then I actually started buying things from AliExpress, and I went through a phase where it was like AliExpress and my Sega collection, right?
Yeah.
So I started buying a bunch of random Sega games. And one of them I bought was a reproduction of Ghouls and Ghosts. And then I started buying like Japanese games that I had no idea what they were. I was just like, Japanese sounding name, let's pick it up. Well, one of those games was also Ghouls and Ghosts, so I had 2 copies of Ghouls and Ghosts, like bootleg repro copies. So, cleaning house, thought I'd sell one of them on eBay. Now, got on eBay to sell a reproduction cartridge with a poor label. I made this as upfront as I could possibly make it. Real photos of the actual thing, including a photo of the reverse side that shows the terrible... You know what the Sega repro carts look like? How it says 16-bit on the back instead of the word Sega?
And it's got that weird dip on the side.
Yes. Those exactly. And in the description, I was like, look, this plays flawlessly, but the cartridge looks really bad, but it does work. I bought this for personal use. Don't pay a lot for it. I didn't say don't pay a lot for it, but just to be clear, it's not an authentic game. It's just a repro, and people are like in a bidding war over it. It's not.
Uh-oh.
It's not super high because that's a like a $20+ game, but it's going for it's up to like $7 now.
Oh dear.
It's now more than you would actually pay if you went back to AliExpress and ordered a new one.
Did I ever tell you I got Ghouls and Ghosts at a Goodwill outlet?
Did you?
Yep, in the case too. I got that. Miss Pac-Man in the case, a bunch of other games and DVDs, all for like $2.79 because they charge by the weight in that Goodwill outlet.
That's awesome, man. I got some good Sega hits, but it's been years. How long ago was this?
A few years ago. Some collector was trying to get it off me, but I said nay. I got Miss Pac-Man in the box too. That's why I put my old copy in the junk box.
I've got it. I know. And I got I own one of the nice Sega Genesis arcade sticks, and Miss Pac-Man's a good pair with that arcade stick.
You know, fun fact, Miss Pac-Man on the Genesis is like the only game I can think of that is not work with the 6-button controller.
Really?
I don't know why, but for some reason if you try and play it with a 6-button controller, you have trouble turning, like it's not responsive to turn.
Wow. Maybe it might not work with that arcade stick, because that's a 6-button stick.
I actually have a 3-button stick I still have from my childhood.
That's from that's the first party stick though, right?
Yeah. Of course, back then we called it the giant controller.
Did you hold it like an actual controller by putting your hands underneath and trying to do the top with your thumb?
No, our hands were too small for that. I was a little kid, you know.
We tried to do that with the Advantage on the Nintendo. It didn't really work.
I actually have an Advantage now. It was given to me. I haven't used it yet.
I have one too. It's a good controller.
The Gen was my first system. I was born in 91, the same year Sonic came out.
There you go. What do you remember playing on in your early days apart from Sonic?
Animaniacs, Batman Returns, that one that's like a platformer Mortal Kombat game. Zoop, that was on Super Nintendo as well.
I remember Zoop.
Let's see, there was a hockey game we had, a Tom and Jerry game.
No Street Fighter?
Trying to remember. No, I didn't have Street Fighter back then. I'm trying to remember, actually. Miss Pac-Man, yeah, we did have that one too. And every Sonic game. Except Sonic and Knuckles, sadly. Oh yeah, the Power Ranger game, the first one, the fighting game.
That is a game that exists.
It's an okay, you know, not bad, not great, not terrible.
I didn't play it as a child, that's the problem. You know what I mean? I went back and played it as an adult, and I was like, I don't see it.
Oh yeah, we had Risk. That one was super addictive.
Yeah, there you go.
It was the board game, you know.
Yep.
I remember borrowing Lost Vikings once. Lost Vikings is one of those games that requires a 6-button controller.
Okay.
Like, not a third party. It's got one that has the mode button that a lot of third-party 6-button controllers don't have for some reason.
Okay. Is it good? I know it's big money.
It's a puzzle game, you know. It's pretty fun, actually.
Okay.
You can argue which one's better, that or the Super Nintendo port. It's like 3 Vikings, you switch between them. One's good at jumping, one's got a sword and shield, and... No, one has a shield and one has a sword. One has arrows. One's good at jumping, one's got a shield to block stuff, and one's good at fighting.
First games I ever remember seeing on the Sega Genesis were one of the Street Fighter games and one of the early Sonic games. Sonic 1 or 2. My friend down the street
So-
had it.
Probably Sonic 1. That was the pack-in game with the Genesis. I mean, originally it was Altered Beast, but they switched after that game came out.
Yeah, it was after Altered Beast. I didn't see Altered Beast until years later.
Do you know there does exist one red Sega Genesis game?
Wait,
Cartridge is red.
I have a red one that I got from you, as a matter of fact. Isn't it a Venom game?
Maximum Carnage, yes.
Yes.
Oh, did I send that to you?
Yes,
Huh.
I have that game.
Okay, fair enough. I learned in Australia, any game that was greatest hits, or whatever they called it, was re-released in a silver cartridge. I've got like 3 or 4 of those. I also learned that the Game Genie can get around a region lock. That was pretty fun.
You sent me a Game Genie. It unfortunately did not work, but I held on to it for 5+ years trying to make it work.
Well, you never told me it didn't work. We could have complained to the seller.
What are you gonna do? It's okay.
I didn't really own it. I literally just bought it off eBay and had it shipped to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that when you were doing the sandwich sign thing? I remember you had a bit where you were like getting a bunch of cool stuff. You're like, yeah, I'm working, able to buy games. I was like, oh, I wish I was like that.
Sandwich sign. I think you mean Domino's when I was banner shaking.
Oh, banner shaking. That's what it was. For some reason,
Yeah, it was for Domino's, yeah.
Okay, I could see that. I just had this picture in my head of you wearing the old sandwich sign with the thing. I know that people don't wear this anymore, really.
No, I didn't do that. They did give me a Domino's hat, though, because I asked nicely.
Oh, that's cool.
Luckily, it was not one that required the gorilla suit.
Oh, man.
Actually, when I got that, you were in the Skype call. I was like, you were talking about like, okay, yeah, you can have this too. Then you made your Scooby-Doo noise. By the way, we got a new logo for Emerald Rangers, so you might get a second hat soon.
Let's go take a look.
We haven't put it on the site yet, but I'll send you a little pick of it. It's
Sounds
in the Discord server. Have you seen that?
All right, let me switch over to the old Discord. Discord server. It's time to see the logo.
Oh, here.
I like
Here,
it.
I'll just send it to you.
No, I can see it. That's very sweet. I don't want to spoil it for you out there in radio land and podcast land. But it looks good. It looks very fancy.
And it's got the gem on it, which will actually change the color of. Because I can do that now. So the one I
that's
send
pretty
you will have a pink one instead of a blue one.
Dope. That is awesome.
Whatever happened to that little pink gem I
We
sent you?
still have it. I wanted pink because I wanted to be able to give it to my daughter, and she still has it, and she knows the story, and she knows it's from your website, and it has to do with me being a part of it. So it stands as an artifact within the household still.
It's not in a Chaos Emerald toy like some might think. I've looked those up. They're tiny and plastic, and they're stupid. I've actually traced the origin of these gems to a gift shop in Phoenix, Arizona.
If you look through it, it looks cool. If you look through the flat part.
I've also learned the black one is the only one that's a solid color. Everything else is transparent.
Lame. Are you? Do you have the black one? Are you the Black Ranger?
That's Kaiser.
Kaiser. Ah, yes.
Actually, I've got the red one right now, but I'm switching to white soon. Hey!
I'm looking around on AliExpress right now for the first time in a while, and I gotta say, I'm really enjoying it.
They've slightly improved the searching, and they actually do sell some Genesis repros with save batteries now. They cost a little more.
Oh, really? Yeah, that was a problem before.
Although I did notice, even if it didn't have one, it still had a slot for it. Here's one. Phantasy Star 2 with save battery for $8.90.
There you go.
And $4.28 shipping. Well, dang.
I don't know, man.
That's a loose cart.
Phantasy Star is one of those games that was brutal enough that I would just do that in some sort of setting with save states. I don't know if I would do that one on the authentic hardware.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Streets of Rage 2. See, that's what I liked about Alley, was these ROM hacks on physical carts.
Yes. I'm right there with you. I have some awesome ROM hacks on cartridges.
I remember I sent you Sonic Classic Heroes, and it was a big hit with your kids.
It's in my Genesis right now, as a matter of fact. It's in my Genesis
It was
model.
It was just kind of baffling to me to see a fan-made game on real hardware, especially when they somehow got the modern Sega logo, Sega thing to actually play on a Genesis.
Isn't that logo, like, in and of itself, a large part of the memory of the game? I remember reading.
If you mean the original,
yeah,
the original one that went Sega, yeah, it's about 1/3 the cart's memory. Yeah, had some space to fill in, so they did that, and it became iconic.
Okay, I didn't know that was the reason they went so big. That makes more sense. I thought it was like a marketing thing.
Nah. Fun fact about the original Sonic, it's actually glitched from the title screen. It's supposed to say press start button, but there's a glitch so it doesn't show up.
Oh, really?
The only one they fixed that in was in the GBA version. You know, the version that has a million new glitches.
I had been warned not to buy that one.
Yeah, don't. It's like zoomed in so you see less, and there's a lot of new bugs, and they replaced every sound effect with like a dirt noise.
I'm trying to find Sonic ROM hacks on AliExpress now, and suddenly I'm having a difficult time doing it.
Don't search ROM hacks, because nobody labels it that.
I just searched Metal Sonic. And I'm not getting it.
Yeah. I searched Sonic Save Battery, found some results there.
Oh, sweet. Hey, let me get back to the main page.
Look at this. Streets of Rage Girls Paradise for Genesis. I don't know what that is, but I'm curious.
That's what I want in my house. Sonic Save Battery. I got toothbrushes. This is not working, Cendoo.
I said Genesis Save Battery.
Oh. Yes, you did, didn't you? 2G memory card game. 235 in 1B. A lot of multicards.
Those work. I got one of their NES multicards. They are exactly what they say.
Really?
Yeah.
I once bought, and I know I've cried about this on the air more than once, but I bought a game called I think it's Battlemania 2, which is supposed to be a really decent shmup for the Genesis, and it just never showed up. And I think that was really the end of me being into AliExpress.
Yeah, you gotta check those seller ratings. There's a few more bad sellers on Ali than eBay. Now Etsy, on the other hand, whoo!
I love Etsy. I'm not gonna find any more. Well, I usually do like synth stuff on Etsy though. Do they have good gaming gear?
Probably, yeah. They have like the Soul Reaver bandana, which is a perfect time to get that.
What's the Soul Reaver bandana?
You ever play Soul Reaver?
Probably not. It's not ringing a bell with me.
Long story short, he's a walking corpse. He has no bottom jaw, so he wrapped a bandana around himself.
Oh, okay.
It's got the symbol of his vampire clan on it.
I'm looking at NES.
Sonic. I found Sonic Winter Adventure on AliExpress. Whatever the heck that is.
That's what I want. Is Sonic Winter Adventure. Sonic Winter. Because I had like a wish list on the site at one point, and it was like Sonic crackers and like a lot of these. I don't want to say big name ROM hacks, but a lot of ROM hacks that you would find on other collections, like upper bracket type ROM hacks. And I just
this game is, well, it's winter themed, and it seems to play like Sonic 1 Mega Mix. He's got the homing attack and the figure 8 move.
I think I have that.
Oh. Okay,
no,
yeah,
I have
it's
Retro Remix. I'm
another
sorry.
2D Sonic game, but winter themed.
That reminds like they did with Jazz Jackrabbit. Hey, you know what? We'll make
Such
one in the snow. Why not?
They got Sonic the 2 extra large, Sonic 2 XL. That's hilarious. Every ring is an onion ring, so each one you get makes you fatter and slower.
I have seen
So
that.
you try to avoid getting them.
That is a bizarre game. I don't know if I would want it in a physical cart, but that's worth playing on your copy of K-Fusion on the PC.
I'd want it on a physical card just to see people's reaction when they find it on my shelf. Yeah, you gotta see this cart, though.
Let's take a look.
It's got actual onion rings on a TV.
I gotta say, I'm loving the artwork.
That Metal Sonic game, that was one I sent you. I
Yes,
think I
it
got
was.
that. I knew nothing about that when I got it. It was just a morbid curiosity purchase.
And it's funny that you did that because apart from Sonic Classic Heroes, that one, the Metal Sonic one, is my favorite. It's my favorite of the ones with completely original levels.
Yeah.
It is a good game.
I've got one I got in case. It's called the S Factor with Sonya and Silver. And Scourge is there too.
Any good?
It's okay. You don't play Sonic, you play Silver. It's a little extra hard. They did actually translate Silver's psychic powers into the 2D pretty well. Which it doesn't really work in 2D because it's really hard to attack because he can't jump on enemies. You gotta like psychic the projectiles back at him.
Weird.
You know who Sonya is?
No.
Sonic Underground was the third of those original 3 Sonic cartoons, and in that one he had a brother named Manic and a sister named Sonya, or Sonya. They pronounced it both ways in the cartoon, just back and forth.
Metal Sonic rebooted.
Is that the one? Or is that another one?
It's another one. The one that you gave me, I'm holding it here. It says Metal Sonic Hyperdrive. But I'm trying to determine if it's a different game or if it's the same game with just like a different label. You know how they do that. Sonic Genesis Boom. Yeah, now I remember how this works. You got to find like 1 or 2 halfway decent ROM hacks, and then you just look at the games that are like recommended based on that one. The search
pretty much.
is garbage. That like the straight search from the website is just absolute doo-doo butt.
It's slightly better. Like I can actually search Metal Sonic Genesis and get a couple results.
But it's if you ever get the app on your phone, the app seems to work better.
A little, yeah. Eggman, the Dictator in Sonic the Hedgehog. That's a big popular one, is to just put a different character in the same game. And they actually control like they do in their own original games.
Oh, that's cool. I can see
Like
the
I
Sonic
saw-
Winter Adventures now.
I saw like Mega Man and Mario. And there's Fix-It Felix Jr., which is a faithful recreation of the Wreck-It Ralph fake game.
I've got that. Also got it from you.
You know, I put a lot of stuff in that box knowing that you'd get it next.
Yes, and it just, I love it that you didn't tell me that. It showed up, and then I cleaned it out, and then afterwards you were like, you took out all the stuff that I put in there. It
Just
was
as planned.
It really was, because you put in the multi-tap for the Genesis, so I was able to play Sonic Heroes with my kids, as well as Bomberman, because I have Bomberman for the Genesis, which works well with the multi-tap.
I always wondered if you ever tried the 3-player on Classic Heroes.
Never Classic Heroes, but we've done it with Bomberman. I've tried 2-player with Classic Heroes.
Although the Dreamcast shirt was not for me. I actually
was
considered
actually-
taking that one myself, but it was too small.
That was Hemrock's,
Yeah.
and all the paint is coming off of it now. So now I have to retire it.
You shouldn't have washed it. Should have just let it build the stink.
That's funny. I get it. I can't. It's gonna be just a shirt hanging around forever, and I gotta use things and then let them go. Sonic Pixel Perfect. Wonder what that is. Fan Brew
I don't
Games.
know. I want some of these fighting game ROM hacks. Like, yeah, they had the Ninja Turtles in Streets of Rage 2. That's something.
There's a lot of good Streets of Rage.
Oh yeah,
mods.
Streets of Rage 2. That's the good one.
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
First one.
do you have that
yeah.
on Steam? Streets of Rage 2 on their little Sonic thing.
I don't know. I know I have it on Gen.
Excuse me. Sorry.
No, I don't. But I'll get that later.
The reason I bring it up is because a lot of the ROM hacks for Streets of Rage 2 are available in their don't say thingy. They're in their thingy. Their workshop.
Genesis Collection.
Yes, the Genesis Collection workshop. Oh man, I forgot
Neat.
how much cool Sonic the Hedgehog stuff there was up here. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 Pink Edition.
Yep,
Sonic
bro,
and
Amy.
Blaze.
You know, the Hyperstone heist on the Genesis actually is just Turtles in Time, but a watered-down version.
Really?
Yeah, the Genesis could not actually run Turtles in Time, so they called it a different name and tried to pass it as a different game, just, watered down.
Hey man, business is business. Gotta do what you gotta do.
The Genesis is less powerful than the Super Nintendo in all but 2 categories.
Blast processing, right?
Yeah, it does. The processing speed's faster, so games that have load time on Super Nintendo don't on Genesis.
Have you ever bought any of these AliExpress Genesis games that have boxes?
Yes. I've got a few actually on me right now.
Like, what'd you end up with?
Like the S Factor and Mega Mix. The boxes, they look very similar to real Genesis boxes, except they're more glossy. Like smoother or shinier, a little easier to break.
Right, I know what glossy means.
They even included those little things you'd use to put them on hooks, on the top.
Oh yeah, I don't know what they're called, but I know what you're talking about. You put them on the J-hook things, so that.
Gosh, I would love to actually go back and see a store that had games on display like that. They're all behind glass now.
Even at the thrift store, they're behind glass, man. There's Battle
Sonic.
Mania. Jeez Louise.
Okay, what the heck is this? Sonic Gestures Challenge. I saw one ROM hack that tried to recreate the treasure hunting stages from Sonic Adventure in 2D. You play Knuckles and make the games non-linear. Make the stages, non-linear.
Alright, I'm ordering one of these tonight. Our mission is to pick the best Sonic ROM hack for the Sega Genesis.
Sure, but actually read the seller reviews this time.
Right now, the pick to beat, I think, is S Factor.
I've got that one, and it's meh.
It's meh?
I'll be honest with you.
Alright, that's fine. It's beatable, but that's my pick right now. Let's see what else we got.
Sonic and Ashuro. Who the heck is Ashuro?
Because I'm kind of interested in Winter Adventures, but S Factor is half the price of Winter Adventures. It looks like a reputable seller, and it's $350.
Yeah. Yeah, but Winter Adventures looks like a much better game. Oh, there you go. Sonic and Blaze. Mobius Evolution for Sega Genesis.
Okay, I see that one as well.
Why have they not done any Mobius in any Sonic game?
Sonic Genesis Boom for Sega Mega Drive.
Okay, there's actually more than one Sonic Boom on the Genesis ROM hacks.
I just like that they misspelled Drive in Mega Drive.
Yeah. You can get the carts with either a Genesis or Mega Drive sticker. There's no difference between the two.
I'm aware. Yeah, I've purchased a couple of the that have the Mega Drive.
Heh. Knuckles the Echidna in Sonic 1.
That
amazes me to see because Sega was not back in the day was not able to put Knuckles in Sonic 1.
Yeah.
They tried with Sonic and Knuckles, but it messed up the color because Knuckles is red. Putting Knuckles in Sonic 2 made the game easy mode. There's a fun fact.
Interestingly enough, though, when you play Sonic 2 with Knuckles, there's a couple of spots that look like logic gates to block Knuckles out, right? Because Knuckles cannot jump quite as high as Sonic. It's like a couple of pixels shorter. It's pretty close, but
yeah, that makes him take a completely different route in Sonic 3, a much harder route.
Yeah.
I did a Let's Play of that with Knuckles. Fun fact though, that jump doesn't mean too much because his glide and climbing make the game super easy. Even the special stages take 10 less rings each round and you keep your rings after the special stages. All until the final boss. Against the Egg Robo is a lot harder with that shorter jump. So you'll just easy mode and then you're stuck. I wasn't able to beat that Egg Robo as a little kid, but I did as an adult.
Sonic
So
2 XL. There you go.
Nah.
Fat Sonic sitting on the plane. Love it.
You ever play the mobile Sonic 2 where they rebuilt the Hidden Palace Zone?
Is that the one where Tails dies at the end?
No. What?
Yeah, you don't know about that one? That's the ending in one of the Game Gear games.
Oh gosh, no, I meant the Android version of Sonic 2.
Oh, no, I haven't. Any good?
Yeah, they made it widescreen and they did put the Hidden Palace Zone back in.
Sweet.
They put it in the most hilarious way possible. It's a secret level that you access. You know that stage in Sonic 2 where it's like the cave zone near the end of it. If you miss the vine, you'll fall down this pit with spikes at the bottom and be stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of spikes, that little fall will take you to Hidden Palace Zone now.
Yeah, here we go. I
gotta say, playing that was oh gosh, that looks like a creepypasta game.
No, that's real. That's the ending of, which one is it? Sonic 3? It says, but it's one of the Game Gear games. It's either Game Gear or Master System. It's not a Genesis game.
Sonic 2. There was no Sonic. Yeah, there was no Sonic 3 on the Game Gear and Master System. Just 1 and 2.
Yeah, so Tails clearly dead.
Well, that's the bad ending.
In that timeline.
That has more than one ending. That's considered the bad ending. I just looked it up.
There you go.
It's rare games consider bad endings as canon, but it happens.
Yeah, that was the case in Colony Wars.
And Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain.
Yeah, there was a few.
On some recent games like Infamous 2, they made the canon ending whichever one more people got, which they can do now. That's a scary thing.
Indeed, it is.
You know what's funny? Some games like Minecraft Story Mode are on Netflix now, because Netflix has a choice option on videos now.
I saw that, and that kind of weirds me out a little bit, because I'm old and I don't like new things.
Well, it makes you feel better. It's a pretty big step down from playing it on a console.
Oh, is it really? That does make me feel better.
Any part that you do control is just auto, done perfectly, and some of the choices were slashed. Like, there's one point in Minecraft Story Mode where you get to make any diamond tool as your super enchanted weapon, but on the Netflix version, they limited it to only a pickaxe or a hoe. And they also don't let you take one of these fancy armors. You keep the one you have, even though that was by far the less chosen option on the console. Just got rid of that choice completely. I saw my roommate's kids playing it.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the show they tested that thing with. It's like an intentional troll show. The first choice you make is which cereal you make. The second one is, do you accept this company's offer to finance you making your game or do it on your own? The obvious choice is to accept the offer, and then somebody walks by and says, wrong choice, buddy. Your game is rushed, it flops, and then it jumps back in time, and everyone has deja vu.
Weird. That's a weird thing you just told me.
Anyway, Sonic and Ashura. I think I know who Ashura is, yeah. Have you heard about the multicolor glitch on Sonic 2?
No, do tell.
Sonic 2, you know the debug menu?
Yes.
There's a glitch where if you spam waterfalls and switch back to Sonic, he'll be super miscolored.
Weird. Is that the same game where you get like the creepy Sonic screen? Or is that that's Sonic's CD? Where it's like fun is eternal with Sega or something like that?
That's Sonic CD.
Okay.
Okay, this is low quality, but I'll send you a screenshot. Yeah, what happens if you go into debug and just spam waterfalls and then switch back to Sonic, he'll look like this.
Okay, let's see what we got.
Well, for some reason, the Sonic fan community has nicknamed this recolor Ashura, and it looks like somebody decided to make a game out of it.
I was just about to say, yeah, this looks like one of the ROM hack type characters I see.
It's not, though. That's in the real game. Just pop it in, enter the cheat code, and spam waterfalls. You'll get that.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. Sega intentionally left the debug cheat in because they thought fans would have fun with it. And it seems they were right.
Alright, I want to play this S Factor game. I gotta be able to download the ROM. This has to be a thing.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's got 3 obscure characters from 3 different things. Silver the Hedgehog, which was from Sonic 06, that unfinished mess of a 15th anniversary game. And there's Sonya from the cartoon, and Scourge from the comics. Yeah, Scourge, that green hedgehog, was Sonic's doppelganger who stole his girlfriend in the comics.
I know so little about the Sonic universe, man.
Well, playing as Sonya and Silver, they control completely different. Sonya plays more like Sonic and Silver. He can hover and has psychic powers. That's his bit. Silver the Hedgehog was only invented so they could show off the new Havoc engine in the new consoles, the Xbox 360 and PS3. New physics, you know?
I gotcha. Let's see if this works. I have the feeling I downloaded the patch and not the actual game.
There's actually a website you can just play these ROM hacks on right off the website.
Yeah, this didn't work. I want it saved locally, though. This is emulation. You know, if anything happens with my internet connection, I want these to be able to work. Because these end up taking the place of my Steam games and whatnot.
Oh, they also put Eggman Nega as the villain in this game, apparently. He was the villain from Sonic Rush on the DS. Well, one of them. Remember Sonic Rush?
No. Is it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, okay.
It was a DS game. There was 2 of them, Sonic Rush and Rush Adventure. That's the game Blaze the Cat was introduced. And the Soul Emeralds, because Blaze is from a different dimension.
That's cool. Yeah, man. The Sonic
It was
well
a
runneth
2D game where you
friend.
could actually... Yeah. Sorry, what?
I was just saying the Sonic well runneth very deep.
Yeah, I know a lot of Sonic trivia. If you don't stop me, I can go on for a while.
That's quite all right.
Well, that picture of Sonya is not from the show, but I can tell you a fun fact about the Wii version of Sonic Racing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Mario Kart-like game?
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a picture of Amy in the casino zone, but they messed up and used that picture of Sonya from a fan art, not an official art, from a DeviantArt. And every version except the Wii one, they were able to update and patch that out, but the Wii can't do updates, so it still has it.
That is funny. Alright, I think I might have my S Factor download. Jump back one. Get rid of the patch, because I don't need the patch. I just want
There's
to
a
play
Sega
it
CD version of Sonic 1 Mega Mix.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can just burn that to a disc and play it.
That is awesome.
It's got Knuckles and Tails in it too.
Alright, let's try this. S Factor, please load.
Sega.
Oh, yes!
Yeah, that modern Sega logo. Seeing that on my play on the And, ladies and gentlemen, Critical Failure is now live playing a game.
Is that obtrusively loud?
Oh, not really. Made you quieter though.
I just wanted to make sure it worked. I messed with my sound levels. That could be bad. Okay, there we go. That's not too bad. Awesome. That's cool. So I have S Factor set up. I'll play that and see if it's
That is one of the AliExpress carts I actually got in a box just because I like the artwork.
Yeah, it's a good looking cart. Because you can tell it's a Sonic game, but it's pretty different. It has a different name. It's not like Sonic 2 and such a character. You know what I mean? It looks like it should be its own game.
I wish people would ROM hack the 3D games like they did in Mario 64. I want to ROM hack a Sonic Jam to make an actual game out of it.
Gotta look,
So
man.
yeah,
It might have been done already.
will you teach me how to ROM hack?
As soon as I learn, I'll teach you.
And when will that be? 2030?
I don't know. I wanted them to ROM hack an old copy of one of the John Madden football games from the Sega Genesis era, and then sub in the XFL teams. I wanted to.
You know they.
I know the
remember they
bought it, and so it could potentially come back at some point.
Remember when they briefly brought back the XFL, only for Corona to stop it?
Yes, I do. I was actually enjoying it. DC Defenders, man, the beer snake.
Do you think it's true the original XFL supposedly cheerleaders gave the audience lap dances?
I have no idea.
I guess you didn't go to any games.
No.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I was actually very, very young during that time. That was like in what, 2000? So I would have been 16.
Oh no, I found Somari on AliExpress, but I can't figure out what system it's for. It says 60-pin game card for 8-bit Subor game player, S-U-B-O-R game player.
60-pin? Okay, first of all, Somari is an NES game.
Okay.
So if it says 60-pin, they're probably selling you a Famicom cartridge, because the Famicom was 62-pin, whereas the American or North American Nintendo was 72-pin.
I played a ROM of Somari back in the day. It was horrible.
As I say, to be fair, it was one of the earlier character swap ROM hacks I played, but I played it for like 2 seconds, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. It's Mario. Let's play something else.
I found Super Mario Brothers on the Genesis.
Are you still looking on AliExpress?
Yeah, according to Kaiser, that's actually a pretty faithful port to the Genesis.
That's cool. I'm aware.
I was actually trying to find. I got curious. I was trying to find some Mario ROM hacks on here now.
Okay.
I don't really know any.
Some usual day. Didn't look for that.
What?
Oh wait. Hold on. I'm still looking at eBay. I gotta switch back over to AliExpress.
Oh my gosh. They've got a multi-card on Super Nintendo that's pink.
They got a multi-card on NES that's pink that I want, that has Roll-Chan on it, 1 through 6.
You ever notice AliExpress has absurdly long URLs?
Yeah, but that's not abnormal.
Whenever I wanted to link that on Twitter, I actually had to use a URL shorter website. 'Cause it went past the limit of Twitter.
That looks purple to me, bro.
I don't know. It's hot pink.
Debatable. Let's see what's on this game's list. All right,
I didn't know there was a Dragon Ball Z game on Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, not in America. But there were some really good Japan-only Dragon Ball games, fighting games, where one-on-one fighting games where if you got too far away from each other, the screen would split down the middle, and it would be kind of hard to track each other. But overall, pretty fun, actually.
I've got a Japanese one on my Japanese Saturn. I know why that wasn't released here, because it goes all the way up to Majin Buu, and that was years before we were there. But it's interesting. Like, hitting doesn't hurt the opponent. It builds a meter. And it's kind of like a tug-of-war thing, because if you get hit, it goes down. When it's full, you use one of your special...
Oh, we went dead. You still there? I think you went silent on me. Oh, now I can hear you. Now I can hear the clickety-clack.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, what was the last thing you heard me say?
You were talking about...
The Saturn Japanese?
Yes.
It's a 2D fighter, but it's the special attacks like the Kamehameha are all 3D.
Okay.
But, like, hitting each other doesn't do direct damage. It'll fill up this meter, or it'll lower if you get hit. And when it's all the way full, then they'll do a special attack and does damage. It's kind of like a tug-of-war thing.
I got you.
It's a different way to do fighting games. Surprisingly kind of fun once you get a hang of it.
Oh, this cartridge that you're looking at has a battery save. Okay. And all the save games on the list are in red. I was skipping over those, but yeah, there's some good ones. Breath of Fire is on here.
Oh gosh. How many versions of Zelda Ancient Stone Tablet? Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, that's up in the title. If you read the title, that's one of the selling points, is that Ancient Stone Tablets is on there.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know. Look it up.
Well, it says Zelda.
Well, they can't put Zelda in the title. It doesn't say that when you actually order the game. but they'll obscure it on the title. Like some of the Mario games, they have Mario blurred out in the picture. But if you actually buy the game, it just looks normal the way it's supposed to. That's an old AliExpress trick.
You see? That's the difference. Sega actually embraces fan ROM hacking. They made those Steam games very easy to ROM hack.
They do more than some of the other companies, but I still remember what they did with the Streets of Rage remake.
Oh yeah, that.
They do okay. They don't, but none of the companies have a flawless record.
Except the one that only lasted for one game, which was Hong Kong 98.
I don't know if I would say they have a flawless record. We can say that they didn't pull any fan games down, but only because there were no fan games.
They made one awful game and it never got officially released, so no hits, no losses.
There you go.
Although apparently you can actually track down the creator of that game. There's a documentary on him.
Really?
I heard that the existence of that kind of ruined his life. Like he made it sort of fast as a joke or something.
Oh, weird. How did it ruin his life?
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard the story.
Okay.
Some of these multi-carts I just want to get so I can have different colored carts on my shelf. Like this lime green one is kind of cool. Plays into the whole, some people consider Xbox the successor to Sega.
That sounds cool. I'm looking at the Discord chat. Do I get to see a picture of it?
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah! Oh, that does look cool.
The original Xbox had a deal with Sega, so they got a lot of exclusives from them. That's why some people saw the Xbox as the Dreamcast successor.
Alright, we're taking a look at this lime green Sega Genesis multi-card. Retailing on AliExpress for $16.98. We are treated to 201 games on the title. Now, how accurate is that? You know how these AliExpress type things go. There's nothing to stop them from embellishing, so oftentimes they do. However, to their credit, a lot of these have games lists on them. This particular one does not say anything about containing a battery, so I have to assume it does not.
Although impressively, it has a very detailed list about which systems it does and doesn't work on.
Alright, let's see.
It's got X's across all these clone systems it doesn't work on.
I gotcha.
It says it works on clone systems and original software. Oh my gosh, it actually works on that bootleg one I got from overseas.
That's pretty funny. Gunstar Heroes is on here, so right off the bat, we got some worthwhile playtime. Echo, Tides of Time. You know, I never thought much of the Echo games, but I love the final boss. So I do kind of want to go back and try it again just to get to that final boss. Worms, Strider, Twinkletail. That's a good game for the Genesis.
R-Type? Huh. Okay, they got Ultima 4, but I haven't played 1 through 3. I think I'll be lost. Oh my gosh, they got Yu Yu Hakusho. What is that?
You don't need to play the earlier Ultima games to get Ultima 4, I don't believe.
Yeah, I'll be completely lost. Can't play that.
No problem there. Prince of Persia, Bubble Bobble on the Genesis was such a disappointment.
Oh my gosh, this Yu Yu Hakusho game looks like on the Genesis is a fighter.
Does it look good?
Graphically, no, but it looks fun.
Marble Madness.
Is this real or is this a ROM hack?
Black Belt.
It's obviously a game that never came out in America.
I don't know, man. This green Genesis multi-cart, I'm not super impressed with the games list. Apart from to your point, Yu Yu Hakusho, and maybe Gunstar Heroes. Oh, it does have the original Phantasy Star.
Streets of Rage 2. I noticed AliExpress really doesn't care for 1 and 3. Again.
That's a good point. Took me a minute to think it over, but
ow! Oh, it's got the first Shining Force. Why doesn't anything have Shining Force 2?
Streets of Rage multi-card, that's got 1 and 3. It's just Streets of Rage, but there you go. Streets of Rage 2 and 3.
Oh, I found another. No, it's the same one. By the way, he said 200 in 1, not 201, if anyone was wondering.
Gotcha. Alright, my man. we're pushing 10:30, and I have to get up for work in the morning, so I'm gonna have to kind of bring this to a close.
Shouldn't we answer those questions that Balzac sent us first?
Oh yes, thank you, because I had forgotten about that. I am gonna navigate back to the YouTube channel, and we're gonna have to dig back the comments just a little bit. See if we can get the comments out from old Balzacaroni. My throat's starting to hurt. That's usually the telltale sign it's time to sign off soon.
You're a big fan of Telltale games, aren't you?
Actually not really. To be brutally honest, nah. I liked the Poker Night at the Inventory, and I liked Back to the Future, and that's really it.
Okay, but since this was supposed to be about Sonic's anniversary, I'll just clear this up. Sonic was my first game ever. I'll be a fan forever, and the 30th anniversary games that's being made by Insomniac, assuming that website isn't lying, it looks really interesting. That's all. There.
Do you think it's interesting that Sonic has outlasted Sega as a hardware developer? Like, they're long gone, and they're not making Sega machines anymore, but we're still getting Sonic games.
You told the story of how they went third-party developer.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a commonly told tale.
Well, here's the thing. Sega did that before Sonic 2. Remember the SG-1000? Not many people do.
Only from the G&DB videos.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day Angry Nerd will review it.
You never know.
Well, what do I feel about it? I mean, it's been 20 years since they've been out of the console business, so I've accepted it. But I'll have nothing but fond memories for the Genesis and Dreamcast. Didn't have a Saturn as a kid. I do now, though.
What do you think of the Saturn?
It's probably one of the most fascinating systems I've owned, just from the library being so out there. But it's kind of obvious why it flopped.
Yeah. The Saturn is a weird one because it has... If you just buy the cheap end games, which is usually my MO with systems, you'll get the idea that there's not much to offer. But the rare ones, the ones that you have to dig deep for, actually do have something that you can't really get anywhere else.
It definitely doesn't have the everlasting games like the PS1 does, but it seems to favor 2D a lot. It was like the last one to really think of 2D as the primary thing and 3D secondary.
Oh yeah.
I got this game called Clockwork Knight, where you fight with a key, so I'm going to call it the predecessor to Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
That game's weird.
I cannot find the questions from Balzac.
Oh no. It was like 3 episodes ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Balzac. Kazlab. I don't think I can search my comments that way.
Shoot. Can we remember which episode at all?
If I can find his name, I think these days I can search across the comments that he's put. But I have to keep scrolling. He comments like once a month or something.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot. I think I see it. I see a comment where I'm replying to him. So.
Lights, dude. There it is. Whoa, I got it.
Oh no, he found it.
2 months ago. Audio cliff notes. Nope, that's not it at all.
Ah! Why didn't you write these down?
I think I might have, but I think...
Oh, crud. Wait, did he ask these in an audio comment by any chance?
No, because when he does audio comments, there's always footnotes. You can go to... You can scroll down and it'll tell you everything he says. That way you can just listen to it and not have to like write anything down. I cannot find... I can't find him. I'm so sorry, dude. Wait. 344. He commented on 344. So hold on a second. Let me pop that up real quick.
Oh, he's called Kazlab, right?
Yeah.
Shoot, I was looking for Balzac.
Yeah, that would make it hard. Wait. Why is he not showing up on this list? Held for review? No, it's not held for review. This is hard. Why does YouTube make this so hard? Do you remember when you could put like a video on YouTube and you could actually, like, people could find your stuff. Do you remember that?
No. You remember when you could, like, subscribe to a channel and YouTube would tell you when they upload?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm falling asleep at the keyboard and I gotta work in the morning.
Well,
I'm sorry, Balzac. We really tried.
I remember one question. My favorite Sonic game. If you mean 2D, it's Sonic 3 and Knuckles. 3D, it's Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Adventure 2 Battle. You like that more than the original Sonic Adventure?
I think it aged a little better, yeah.
Okay.
But I still have a lot of nostalgia for the original Adventure. The Chao Garden's a lot better in Adventure 2. I only choose the remakes because they let you see the stats of the Chao on screen instead of having to use the USB.
Gotcha.
What is it called? UMD, that's it.
Right. For me, favorite Sonic games would be probably Sonic 2, because even though there are better Sonic games out there, there's even better 2D Sonic games for the Genesis. Sonic 2 was the one I know the most and the one I went back to the most times over the years. It was just a little bit late game is a little bit better than the original Sonic in my opinion.
Sonic 3, I think, is better than 1 and 2, especially 3 and Knuckles.
Oh, yeah?
That's why when you put Sonic and Knuckles by itself, it's a little too hard, but you connect them. There's 14 emeralds, super emeralds, hypersonic, and you can actually save in those Sonic and Knuckles levels. Plus, you could play through the first game with Knuckles, a completely different routes, like different level designs.
Right.
And hey, it's the only game I can think of with Super Tails, and Super Knuckles / Hyper Knuckles for that matter.
That is a lot of variations.
The Hyper form lets you do a dash in any direction in the sky with Sonic, and seizure-inducing because it's more than just gold, flips through colors.
Cendoo, man, I know this was short notice. Thanks for jumping on and talking just about random stuff.
Sure.
It's been a long time. I'm glad we were able to do it.
If you check the Discord, it's been actually a little over a year since we called.
Yeesh. I prefer not to.
I'll tell you what, Balzac, leave the comments again and I'll send CF an audio comment. Sound fun?
That would be dope. Thanks, man. I gotta jump off here, but we'll catch up before another year goes by. We'll do another one, okay?
Sure, mate.
All right.
Laters.
Have a good one.
You too.
Back in the studio. We got more TCR coming up. Let's do another quick track from the community cover project for Thunder Force 4. Thunder Force 4. This is Ryden covering the Warlike Requiem, Stage 10. This is a free album, by the way. Head over to Bandcamp, pick yourself up a copy. You're listening to Tiger Claw Radio. Stick with us. Welcome back to Tiger Claw Radio. Quick abrupt stop for a track that's designed to loop. Pick up that Famitrack album. If you dig old Famitracker tunes, I feel like it fits right in with what we listen to here on TCR, the classic TCR chiptune roots. And we're going to take a second to thank the sponsors. Big thanks to the Patreon sponsors. It's a Patreon-sponsored program. These people are keeping TCR alive. They are the life's blood of the program. So to them I offer early access to the show when I can manage to get it done early. And I also read their names off in a hall of distinguished gentlemen. They are Hemrock, EmeraldRangers.com, Tecmo Balls, Dorabka, Konstantin Kelman, and Eric Controller. Thank you guys so much. I hope you're enjoying the party. So let's switch over to the failbag. Got some good stuff in the failbag this past week. Got some comments over on YouTube, and I got an email from Hemrock with some really good stuff in it. Now, I was actually reading through this a few minutes ago, and all the footage dropped. I'm not sure how, but it does happen sometimes. So, we're going to have to backtrack and do it again. No big deal. He writes, Hey, CF. Thank you as usual for another episode, and a happy October. That's a shame that you got a copyright strike by none other than J. Arthur Keynes. I think you were the one who introduced me to him, and unfortunately I don't like his newer stuff, and now I'm even less, now I like him even less given all this silliness. Alright, quick clarification on this one, Hemrock. I didn't get a copyright strike, I got a copyright claim, which is a little bit different. The idea is a strike is 3 strikes you're out, and they'll delete your channel, whereas a claim just means that video now has ads on it, and the ad revenue goes to him and not me. Also, it's worth noting that this is not something that he did manually. What happened is he registered with a site like CD Baby or something that takes a thumbprint of your song, and then when I uploaded the video, the service that he works with automatically picked it up and filed the claim. So it's not a big deal. It's just kind of crummy that he would work with a business like that. It is what it is. What are you going to do? But let's get back to the email. On episode 355, you mentioned IDOS publishing Metal Gear for the PC. They also ported Final Fantasy VII to the PC. Did you ever play this version? Well, let me say, I currently have Final Fantasy VII on Steam. That's my choice port right now, and that is essentially the IDOS port that's been cleaned up and modernized. I think if you launch it, it even shows the IDOS logo at the beginning. But back to when these initially came out, I didn't get Final Fantasy VII at the time, but I bought a blue copy of the original Tomb Raider, right? The original Tomb Raider came out in like a pyramid kind of box, and then later on, like a year or two later, they released like a collector's edition. Think of it like a greatest hits game, but it was like a big box PC greatest hits thing. So I got one of those, and then inside that, there was like a catalog, like a lot of these companies do, by some of our other games. And I could see none other than Final Fantasy VII, big box PC, in one of these big blue IDOS collector's edition things. I didn't buy it when it was brand new, but I do remember seeing it, and I wanted it. Let's get back to the email. I know Metal Gear was recently released on GOG. What games do you feel really deserve a GOG release? I think the original Civilization as well as Civilization 2 Multiplayer Gold Edition both need a re-release, as you cannot find a legitimate download anywhere. I completely agree, man. We need Civ 2. The fact that you have to have a CD to play Civ 2 is bonkers, and it's even more bonkers considering the fact that they already re-released Colonization, like the old DOS version on GOG. I don't know what the deal is. Get Civ 1 and Civ 2 out on GOG. Come on, man. We need the whole set. To cite some games that you didn't already mention, I've been a lifelong fan of the Wizardry series. Now, the first the first 5 Wizardry games on the PC are very tough to play. They're very antiquated and rudimentary, and they lack certain quality of life things that every game has. For example, to navigate a menu in any given video game now on any platform, it's commonly it's common practice for there to be a cursor and a menu, and you can press up and down to move up and down to each choice on the menu. The original Wizardry series was not like that. You'd be given 6 options, and each option had a letter, and you'd have to find that letter on the keyboard and type it. Now, on the Apple II, this was fine. Nobody had a problem with it, but going back to it in the modern era is a little tough. However, they should still be available. I mean, if you think about it, If you head over to GOG.com now, or Steam for that matter, you can get the Zork anthology, which is a great package, by the way. Okay, you got Zork 1, 2, 3. Then you also have Beyond Zork, and then there's like a Zork Zero kind of thing, and then there's a game called Planetfall and Wishmaster. A lot of classic text adventures for the PC. But I'm not just drawing attention to this because I like text adventures. I'm drawing attention to it because it's like late 1970s computer gaming. Okay, if you go way back that far, there's a few things available, but not much. Okay, I'd like to see more of that on GOG, personally. But let's read on. In my last email, he says, I suggested AM2R. This is not the Battle Royale game you may be thinking about. This is a game that resembles Super Metroid. AM2R stands for Another Metroid 2 Remake. You know what? Stick with me for a second. Because I think I remember you mentioning this before, and I didn't look it up. So before we move on, I'm actually going to punch that into DuckDuckGo so that I have some kind of tab open. Yeah, there we go. Are you planning on doing a room tour of your man cave? I think that would be a cool video. Yes, man, absolutely. I spent the weekend. I had probably about a half an hour to do this. Rearranging my office. Now, you've been in this office a couple of times. The couch is gone. There's now a studio table there. And the big thing is a lot of the audio equipment that was on my desk is now not on my desk. There's a lot more space there now. And that opens me up to rewiring my video games. As a matter of fact, in my 3-monitor sweep, I've got the rightmost monitor, which is actually a television set, conveniently the same size as my monitors. And on that television set, if you go to the right a little bit more, I've got my Xbox One. So I can work on my computer, and if I need a break, I've got Geometry Wars 2, I've got Guardian Heroes, I've got King of Fighters, couple of things. And then after hanging out with Cendoo this past week, excuse me, after hanging out with Cendoo for our conversation, I discovered that includes Gears of War and Gears of War 2 and a couple other things. But there is one system. But that console, like the box itself, is up on the shelf near my computer. It's not taking up any desk space. So, and the reason I'm bringing this up, I have space to put one console on my desk hooked up to that TV. And I can't figure out which one it should be. So I'm going to leave that up to you guys. I want to see what you think. Now let's set aside games that I have versus don't have right now. Let's just talk about consoles that I have. Because the games, depending on the console, the games are malleable. I'm not going to buy, a $200 game. But if I put a console on my desk I don't have a ton of games for, and I end up loving it, I can always get more games. Not a big deal. Especially since I've cleaned up a bunch of space. So you know me, most of the games I have. I have pretty much every console from the PS3 back, until you get pre-NES. Pre-NES, I'm missing a lot of things. And then, I don't have a 3DO, and I don't have a CDI. I think those, apart from that, I probably have most of what you would think of. I don't know, man. This is not a desert island question. This is what goes on the desk. So, everybody think about it. What's your best quick stop game that you own on a console? I don't know. Alright, let's see what else we got here. On the last TCR, you said there was a Super Mario fever occurring in your house. Which ones do your kids like compared to your favorites? Does your wife play any Mario games? I bet she would like Dr. Mario. She played Dr. Mario probably 10 plus years ago, but she phased it out when she discovered Tetris Attack. Tetris Attack overcame Dr. Mario in a big way. That was a step up and never look back kind of deal. My favorites were... That's tough to say. Mario's a weird series because I liked all those games when I was playing them. Super Mario 2 was my favorite when I was really small. Then when I got older, I liked Mario World a lot. And then I think maybe Mario 3 is probably my favorite, just because we had the guide to it, and I probably know the most about Mario 3. As for my kids, the only Mario game they really care about right now is Mario Maker 2. They're trying to get me to get a Switch so they can play Mario Maker 2. But here at the house, their favorite Mario game is New Super Mario Bros. Wii, which gets a surprising amount of play here. One of the people that we watch, a guy called Keeve Gaming, I think it's Ceave, Keeve Gaming, does a lot of he looks at design theory from a scientific standpoint. It's pretty good stuff. One of the things he talked about was doing small runs of classic Mario games. And the idea is, when you play through a game like Super Mario Bros. 3, for example, or maybe Super Mario World, if you get the right power-up, there's a lot of challenges that you can just skip over, right? You know, if you get that cape in the right level, you can just soar through the sky and you don't have to do any of the platforming within. But if you do a run where you're only small and you never collect the power-up, you're forced to face every single challenge in that game head-on, unless you do a warp kind of deal. I've never done that sort of thing. The closest I remember doing that is we had a high-score battle on the TCR forums 10 years ago, where it was trying to get through the very first Super Mario Bros. Game with the lowest amount of points as possible. And I got beat pretty hard. I think it was me and G and DB and NG all chipped in on that one, and I'm pretty sure NG picked up the crown, but I'd have to go back and look. Those old forums are gone, but that one I actually wrote down the results and printed it and put it in my high score book. Let's see. Are you familiar with the Messen NES emulator? It's an emulator that lets you input high-res graphics into old NES tiles. Somebody recently released a new version of Zelda. I think you might find it interesting. You can check the video out here. Will do. Open that in a new tab. Speaking of ROM hacking, there is a recently released English translation of Valhallian, a strategy RPG for the Sega Saturn. We often don't hear much about Sega Saturn translations, so I thought I'd bring that to your attention. Thanks, man. Do you keep up with the HVGN much these days? Recently, he released a 5.5-hour running commentary on his old HVGN videos on his Twitch channel. I think it's a bit much for one sitting, but I thought you might find it interesting if you break it up. Warning, it's probably not safe for the kids, given his frequency of F-bombs. I haven't watched HVGN or / Stop Skeletons from Fighting in a while. I checked in a year ago, and I was glad to see him still finding success. But there was never any moment where I was like, I'm taking my toys and going home. It was really just I think I might like different things now. And I kind of got into other stuff. But yeah, I would check it out. That sounds like fun. He says, over the past few months, I've really gotten into playing the Commander variation of Magic the Gathering with my brother-in-law. Have you ever played Commander MTG, aka EDH, Elder Dragon Highlander? Maybe for Tigerfest 20XX, I'll buy a box of MTG boosters so we can crack some packs and have a true draft with whoever is willing to play. I've attached an MTG card as a tribute to Cendoo and the impending 30th anniversary of Sonic. I've also attached 2 chiptune suggestions, both from KGB 525. Keep rolling retro. I'm rooting for you. Hemrock, man. I never played Commander, but I'm totally down. Totally down. I was into Standard, and then I went from Standard to Kitchen Table, and I went from Kitchen Table to Pauper. And right now I think Pauper is my favorite because of the common cards tend to be the most balanced. But yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. All right, so he's got a couple of KGB 525 tracks packed in from Battle of the Bits. Let's play one of them. This is Facing Your Formidable Fate on Tiger Claw Radio. right, back into YouTube, checking out the comments. We got one from Kazlab208 now. I don't know what happened here because he cites an audio comment. He says audio comment link is on a separate comment. I couldn't find it, man. Okay, but let's take a look at his notes. Getting into Battle Block Theater with the kids. You can play the whole catalog of games from that company. Behemoth on Xbox One, Alien Hominid, Casual Crassers, Battle Block Theater, and the Pit People. All that's on, what do you say, Xbox One? Yes, indeedy. Pretty awesome. Listened to random episodes of TCR and stumbled upon segments featuring the Corner Pub. Banter is pretty funny, but definitely not safe for work. Still keep up with Awful Falafel and Kisei and Casey. I'm going to say no. I haven't talked to either of those guys in years. I still have some of those folks in my Steam friends list, but it's been... it's the kind of situation where I can't bring myself to take them off, to remove them, but at the same time, it would be weird to be like, hey man, what you playing? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I miss those guys, though. We had some fun nights. Oops, hang on a second. I think it's automatically refreshing because I just lost my place. Hey, thanks for nothing, YouTube. Again. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Phantasy Star Online 2 and Phantom Dust probably don't need an online feed to play. Only need an Xbox Live if you want to play with friends or the actual AAA games like GTA Online, Halo 5, Call of Duty. Same situation with the PS4. Yeah, I'll check it out. I see no reason why not. The worst case scenario I can think of is I wait a long time for it to download and install, and I finally install it and I can't play it. And to be perfectly honest, I'm okay with that. You know, that's a nightmare if the Xbox One is your prime console, and doing so means that for however many hours you won't be able to play video games, but that's not the case with me, so I don't know. I feel like it's a really low-risk scenario. Steve from Minecraft invaded Smash. Thoughts? Since I know Minecraft was your jam 10 years ago. Ever get into Smash Brothers? We were supposed to schedule a brawl night with everyone from the Mondo Cool community years ago, but that ended up not happening. I like Smash Brothers, but when Smash Brothers Brawl came out for the Wii, I got a copy of that. My older brother gave it to me, and I enjoyed it very, very much. I had late nights playing that game. I used to listen to a podcast called the Go Nintendo Podcast. They would run about 2 hours every week. So I'd sit down on my couch late at night with an MP3 player, and I would listen to the Go Nintendo Podcast, and I would play Super Smash Bros. Brawl late into the night. But I think the roster for Smash Bros. Brawl was as robust as I ever needed. So now that that game is in the past, and they're going even further, it just reached a point of ridiculousness. You know, you can't... At some point, I couldn't follow it anymore. I don't own the system, so I can't really keep up with the roster. It's interesting to see the Minecraft character, Steve, show up there, though, because I think this is a milestone in terms of passing the torch from my generation onto the younger generation. Something that's happened a while ago, but... there were games that were more popular with the younger generation, like Minecraft, or Fortnite is another really good example. The Zoomer generation goes crazy for Fortnite, and to be honest, I tried it. I played it a few nights with a few friends, and it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either. I mean, there's a good time to be had. But that being as popular as it is a clear indicator that the younger generation is getting older, and they're the target demo for a lot of these companies. So Minecraft being, surfacing in Super Smash Brothers, I think is definitely a sign of that generation getting older and sort of taking control, which is not a bad thing. That's supposed to be what happens, Personally, when I sit down to play video games, that's too much of worlds colliding for me. I can't wrap my brain around that enough to really get there and enjoy it. But if you can, goodness. God bless. Have a good time. Finally, he says, I was featured on the latest episode of Death Adder Super Show titled DASS 93, 2 Ultra Chads, 1 Cup. Since Death Adder said he might be bringing his podcast to an end soon. And then he leaves a link there. I followed that link trying to find the audio comment that you were talking about, and the audio comment wasn't you, as it turns out. Yeah, I will sorely miss the Death Adder Super Show if he decides to fold up shop. He he's been the most reliable running sister show in a long time. So big thanks to him for all the work he's put into that thing. Kozleb, sorry I couldn't find the comment, man. Let's dig up a link. I'll still play it. We can play it next week, but it's always good to hear from you, and I'm glad you're still kicking and having fun. And hopefully I'll catch up with you very soon. Mecha Menace writes in, 50 seconds in, thank goodness for Looney Tunes reruns and Animaniacs. The only way I would pick up your Peter Lorre impression. By the way, Animaniacs is going to be a thing again, complete with the original cast, including Maurice LaMarche and his Orson Wellesian Frozen Peas commercial take on the brain. Maybe kids will pick up the older references via that show. However, I'm sure there will be newer references too. I recommend buy it now rather than auction for items that are available from other sellers. Being on time for an auction is easier these days via phones. However, don't rely on people to be punctual. Your ROM hack carts are going for more than the $3 you spent. Why not save that cash and put it into a used EverDrive? Then you can put any hack, homebrew, or translation on there, plus games released during the 16-bit days. It looks like the cheapest of the latest official Kriz versions goes for $39 brand new. And at 19 minutes and 24 seconds, he says, ba 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 bum. Yeah, the EverDrive thing is a plunge that I should take at some point. EverDrives have been talked about in the comments of the show for years and years and years, as long as they've been around. And I've never, it's not fair to say I've never taken the plunge. I do own a flash cart for the Game Boy, and it was a lot of fun. But something about the EverDrive always struck me as, and I know this is ridiculous, man, something about the EverDrive always stuck me as something that didn't have the same magic as having a cart. It's the dumbest thing in the world, especially since I'm an IT professional. So I understand what's on a cart when you buy a cart, and when you buy an EverDrive, it's really the same data. It just has extra storage capacity, and it has a BIOS built in so that you can navigate a menu system. That's really all it is. But I don't know. Maybe now that I'm a little older, I can justify paying a couple $100 or whatever it is for a solid working EverDrive. To be perfectly honest about the NES, though, there's not a whole lot on the NES that I don't actually have already that interests me, with the exception of course, ROM hacks, but also imports as well. I have a few imports, Famicom games that I can play on my Famiclone, but I don't have very many. Whereas when it comes to the American Nintendo, I have nearly every game I could think of that I would actually want to own. It's by YouTube collection standards, it's a pretty small collection, probably something close to 60 games, but most of the games I grew up with are there. There's a few notable missing games like Super Contra, and I only have 2 of the Mega Man games, but I always liked the original Contra better. And as far as Mega Man is concerned, my favorites were always 2 and 3, and I have those 2. So that's what I mean when I say most of the games I would like to own. I think the games that I'm missing are really, really small things. Like, I remember going through a phase when I was a youngster where I really enjoyed Skate or Die 2. I don't have that anymore. And Ski or Die, I don't have that anymore. However, I do have a complete in-box version of the original Skate or Die, which is a game I liked very much. But all my favorites, man, the games that I kept coming back to time and time again, Maniac Mansion, got it. Spy Hunter, got it. All of the Mario games, check, and check. The original Mario Brothers, right? The pre-Super Mario Brothers, the single-screen one. Got that on the NES. Love it. Joust, got it. A lot of the games that I actually truly played and enjoyed, I have. So buying an EverDrive, I'd have to have a target list of games I'd want to play on it that would exceed the cost of an EverDrive. I think that's the way I would justify it, right? So if you think of it like this, if a ROM hack on a cartridge costs $15, and an EverDrive costs $100, then if you want to own more ROM hacks than whatever 100 divided by 15 ends up being, then it's worth it to buy the EverDrive. But you have to do that math, and you got to sit down and come up with a list. Are there enough interesting games to merit it? Absolutely, yes. I just don't know that there's enough that I personally want to sit down and play on my official hardware. I might consider getting an EverDrive for a weird system. Do they make a Master System EverDrive? I might get a Genesis EverDrive. I actually have, 3 functioning Sega Genesis in my house. It's a great system. I could see getting one of those. I don't know. Every time this comes up, it's always like an internal struggle. Should I not? Should I not? I don't know. Personally, I don't think I play enough of my physical games to warrant it. Because usually, when I sit down and play games for me, now, I'm not talking about games I'm going to review. I'm not talking about something we've been discussing here on the air. And I'm not talking about something I'm making a video for. I'm talking about a game that I will play for me, for CF, that maybe never even gets talked about here on the air. More often than not always, but more often than not, that happens on Steam or GOG or something like that. So the act of buying an EverDrive wouldn't just be getting another NES game. That would be a hard shift commitment to making that, at least for a while, whatever system that is, that would be the new system, right? Like a couple weeks ago, we talked about gaming goals, and one of the gaming goals I had was completing a JRPG start to finish. Okay, so if I were to get an EverDrive for the Super Nintendo, it would be with the intent of, okay, I'm finally going to play all the way through Chrono Trigger, start to finish, legit hardware, and that's how I'm gonna do it. So I'd pay the $100 or $200 or whatever it costs for an EverDrive for that system, and right out of the gate, I'd have like whatever it is, 10-15 hours of gameplay, all lined up that I could do, spread across a couple weeks. Actually, that sounds like a lot of fun. It really does. The last time I tried to play Chrono Trigger start to finish, I was playing it on the PS3, and I played on the PS3. You could play the old, PS1 port, which worked very well, except that when you loaded the menu, like to go to your inventory, the disc had to spin, and they emulated that on the PSN. So it worked, but it was lengthy to play, and that was enough that a few hours in, I couldn't immediately figure out where I was going to go, and then I couldn't do it. I gotta beat it. That's the game, because Chrono Trigger was such a huge game for me and my buddies, especially my buddy NG was a big fan of Chrono Trigger. When we were big into JRPGs, a lot of the key moments in Chrono Trigger he would try and recreate in his JRPGs, in his little RPG Maker projects, pretty successfully too, I might add. So that's one I'd like to play start to finish. Another time I tried to play that, oh no, that isn't the last time I tried to play it. I tried to play it when I had a Raspberry Pi as well. And I was playing through it, and I didn't get quite as far that time out, but I think in that instance, I had a running, working save when the Raspberry Pi broke, and that was just it for me. Because Raspberry Pis, they're not frame perfect. The emulation is really good, but it's not frame perfect. So there's a select couple of games that you can't play on a Raspberry Pi. They say you can't play you can't beat Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and they say you can't what is it, the shmups like Life Force, the harder shmups like Gradius 2, those are not quite right on a Raspberry Pi either. I don't know if that's still the case, but just a single frame of latency when you put in your input is enough to make it not work. And me not knowing what games were like that and what games were not, if I'm going to sit down and play a Raspberry Pi, let's play something that's menu-based, so it's not a problem. And I played a bunch of Chrono Trigger, and I loved it, man. I loved it because at the time, one of the selling points for the Raspberry Pi for me was the ultra-low power supply that needed. So I would just leave that thing running, man. I'd leave the game open, leave everything computing, and then I would just walk away. When it finally broke, it had nothing to do with my usage. It was the fact that I cracked one of the chips in the board trying to switch the case. I still need to get a Raspberry Pi again. I would love to, especially since my office is set up as all sweet. I'd like to integrate one directly into my desk. Actually physically tape the Raspberry Pi unit to the bottom surface of my desk. So you had to reach underneath and you can pull the Raspberry Pi away on Velcro. like in Mission Impossible when Tom Cruise rips the disc. It's the knock list. Tear the cloth away and you can play Chrono Trigger. Yeah. So I can't remember what we were talking about, but yeah, Mecha Menace. Hope you're doing well, man. That was 5 days ago. Let's see what we got. Is that everything? There's no way. There's no way that's everything. Oh, that's because I'm only looking at this one particular video. Hold on a second. Yeah, for something about looking at the comments on YouTube, it's not just that some show up and some don't, but it's actually like taking me away from my comment list. It'll open up one of my videos if I leave it here long enough. So now that I've read that, I actually have to navigate back through this, pull out comments I haven't responded to. We're going to find this. This episode has taken long enough to get this out. Yeah, here we go. My least favorite thumbnails on YouTube are those which spoil the endings for bosses and for games, yet it's inevitable that they pop up since I view game-related content. I found that using the spoiler protection add-on / extension uses quite a bit of resources, so I've enabled it regularly. So I don't have it enabled regularly. All bosses, all levels, last level bosses, F them all, and Reddit too. People are happy that they just beat a game, but I don't think posting a cap will spoil it. I'm very anti-spoiler. That was my random non sequitur from What's on My Shelf, kind of. Some of those thumbnails that popped up while listening to the cast. Really? Yeah. It happens. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I see that the most on Steam because people do a lot of screenshots on Steam. So if it's a game I'm enjoying or don't want spoiled, it's super important to stay out of the community hub. Don't go look at, what people are saying about it. Yeah, it's spoilers and the internet have gone hand in hand for years. I don't really see a way to make it better. So I'm sorry that it's been giving you trouble. Light Studios, my man, says fun thing about ROM hacks is there are always fan-made games. The most non-professional game developers don't have the best grasp of difficulty balancing for all players. Yeah, you're right. If you try and make a game, it's going to feel easier to you than it does to everyone else. So I think what happens is the developers will make a ROM hack that's hard for them, and then when they hand it to another player, it's impossible. It doesn't make it bad. It just means that the difficulty curve for ROM hacks is very different. A different thing, my man. Let us toast ROM hacks for being what they are and for being available to us. They're not perfect, but my goodness, there's a lot of fun to be had. Gaming Beast says, nice, in terms of Cendoo being on Tiger Claw Radio this week. I hope you enjoyed it, man, because it took a long time and a delay after delay after delay getting it together. Light Studios, hour and a half, and we still had to cut it short. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. And by the way, I did know, I saw your email, like the very next night, he was like, let's do a fast cast. I want to do that so bad, man, but we got to do it on a weekend, so maybe next weekend we can do fast cast or something. I am so down to do that, because I had a good time talking and chatting and hanging out, and like I said at the end of our bit, we need to make sure it's not another year before we do it again. So fast cast it is, and it's on purpose that I'm saying this publicly, because I know that you have fans amongst my friends here, and they will remind me and make sure this happens if I say it publicly. So let's do this. Mecha Menace, Sonic in the mix. Go to my studio because the next line in my comment contains a link and therefore will be hidden. As a Sonic fan, I thought this cover is pretty unique. This was the Japanese version. When I say Japanese, I mean like, what's the word? Okay, I was avoiding trying to open the link, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Hang on. Oh, yeah. Traditional Japanese version. Okay. Yeah, I guess you're not hearing this because of the way I have everything wired now. But Sonic 3 Big Arms traditional Japanese version. It's very, very good. Actually, let's save this to my songs for ear listening playlist so that I can revisit this later. Hang on a second. Yeah, man, new music, always awesome. Thanks very much for sending that my way. Alex Swingle says hi. Kaiser Cade says F. Yeah, Kaiser Cade, Retro Kaiser. Good buddy, Kaiser, my man. I really hope you're doing well, man. I know we don't get to talk much anymore because you're all in with Emerald Rangers, and good for you for being that way, for having Cindy's back and getting down with his project and stuff. That is so awesome. But I do kind of miss hanging out a little bit. Hopefully we can I've heard a couple of attempts recently to get the old gang back together. let's do something. Let's find some way. I think Swingle was trying to work some sort of angle to get us all in the same type of game some night. Whatever he is cooking up, when he reaches out to you, let's make it happen. Hemrock says, greatness awaits. Looking forward to it. Hope it's stacked up, brother. Hemrock writes, first, this is to the 303 compilation that I did for CME. Mr. Disgruntled, grizzled, bearded man, will you please tell CF that we miss him? Yes, don't worry. CF is still here. I'm still here. CME is a passion project, and I know it conflicts very, very, very hard with running a video game channel, right? You subscribe to a video game channel, and suddenly they're like, lol's my music. It's the kind of thing I made fun of people for in the past, particularly HVGN. I think he was a prime example of this sort of thing. But here I am doing it anyway, and I'm doing it because I have to do what interests me and makes me feel fulfilled. And doing a little bit of the music, albeit very, very, very awful music, makes me feel fulfilled. I'm going to do some of it. It's good for my mental health, you know what I mean? So I'm going to do something like that for my mental health. I might as well do it in such a way where I can be generous with it and meet people and bring people together, and that seems like the best solution. So I'll try and keep it to a minimum, but yeah. CF isn't going away. Still a video games channel. Oh yeah, brother, space is the place. Clock Tower 3 for PS2. That was one that I filmed myself on a little while ago. Swingle writes, the suicide note was an odd touch. Maximum RD. Rob, aka Maximum RD, writes, Clock Tower 3, might have to look into giving it a go. It's a good game, man. I think you should. It's apparently very expensive. If you're going to drop, 65 plus on a single game, you could do better than Clock Tower 3, but you could also do a lot worse pretty easily. It's a good game. But it's one of these games that because it's reaction based, and you're running from something. If you're just watching it, if you decide to watch a let's play of the game and that's your experience, it's not going to be the same. But it's not going to be the same. But maybe that's enough. I don't know. But yeah, I think there's definitely some moments in Clock Tower 3 that are worth your time. Regardless of the fact that it doesn't hold up or it takes a lot of creative liberties against the original source material. People say the original source material is better thematically, and I would agree, but it's still cool. Especially the first two bosses. And it goes a little downhill, but it's still a cool game. How are we doing? 2 hours and 4 minutes in. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon now. I need to get this finished. I don't have time to do any of the normal stuff I do at the end of these. So in favor of just getting this wrapped up and getting it out there, thank you everyone so much for being a part of this and letting this one ride a little bit so I could get it together. Big thanks to Cendoo for coming on the show. So good to talk to you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying healthy. Keep it light. I'll see you next week.